Tokenizer mentioned specifically another day of XDC making history, everybody, absolute history in the world of global trade. He says, we've already seen Inigio on XDC used, of course, by Lloyd's for the first ever UK EDTA compliant E-Trade transaction. Now, this is important, everybody. He says now they've secured the first ever ITFA DNI compliant trade too. This was through Lloyds Bank and Mirror, a non-bank financial institution executing a trade involving importers and exporters. This is good stuff. You may not even be aware of it. Again, pretty fresh, right? So this is better known as a four-corner transaction. Each of the respective financial institutions, being Lloyds and Mirror, being a corner respectively, and then the importers and exporters also being individual corners. And of course, we already know how this went by now. So once again, Inigio has successfully delivered on execution of digital trade through digitalized documents verified on-chain via XDC network. But what makes this especially notable is that this was done on the secondary markets. And again, that's big. In other words, buying and selling of trade finance instruments after the original trade transaction, wow. We now got national level leadership via pioneering UK EDTA and now international leadership via compliance to the ITFA's DNI. The network as an XDC are truly picking up.
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. It's just a few taps. You can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.
And of course, originally cited from Lloyd's. Here it is. And you see that. And that was posted literally today. I'll blow it up a little bit more just in case you have a hard time seeing it on your phone, right? So again, in the highlight, development follows a series of other Worl-first transactions completed by Lloyd's and Mirror. And again, just like Tokenizer pointed out. So I think this is absolutely major. And I like how it mentions at the bottom, unlike other systems, only the party creating the document needs to be an Inigio user, enabling broader market participation. Secondary purchasers can take possession of digital bills of exchange without signing commercial terms with Inigio. That is so unbelievably major. What happens when we have all of this stuff with, after regulations being passed and so on? I think the market gets sent. You already have what's being built, or already have what is built. It's just the next steps from here. I mean, we talk about Electronic Trades Document Act, electronic trades, bills of lading, digital bills. I mean, it's a major big deal. I'm glad that Tokenizer was able to share this with his community. And again, I mean, it's so cool to see, some of this kind of pan out, to say the least. And, Tokenizer does such a good job of having it all come together. Just to give you guys a heads up, where do we reference something that happened not that long ago? Here's the answer. This guy, shout out to XDC Pools. They originally cited André Casterman, kind of gave us a call to action, right? So December 1st, 2024. So XDC Pool says, great find, and it's in reference to XDC plus Inigio, confirmation by who? André Casterman. And André Casterman did point this out December 1st of last year. He says it does, when you refer to it as, Mr. Casterman, can you provide or confirm that Inigio's trace original works on the XDC network? Again, more confirmation. And we're seeing this come to light. So André Casterman, says he made this happen in 2021 and implemented it since 2022 in April, right? Because April, we know, was April 20th, 2022, give or take, or actually 2023. That's when ISO 222 went live. But it says focus next year, at least in 2023, was settling emulator transactions using regulated stablecoins such as RLUSD and many others that banks want to take advantage of. There will be many. My goodness. And again, back to what Tokenizer mentioned. I mean, I do think it's a big deal, to say the least. And I'm obviously glad to share it. So glad to share it, right? I don't want people to get wrecked any more than the next guy. So I'm just going to do a few little disclaimers before we get into that. First thing is this. Once you go over to BTCC and you sign up with that QR code at the very top right of the screen, well, of course, within about a minute and a half, 3 minutes tops, you're going to get some free USDT. And with that also said, you can, for example, choose to do leverage trading. Now, if you don't know what the heck you're doing, then don't do it. But here's how I would go about it if I were you. First thing I would point out is to go over here and go to basically where it says towards the top, futures. And you're going to click on what says demo trading. Okay. Like it says, practice some of this, right? So, like it says, make your first trade. This is what's going to come up. Okay. And they have tutorials and whatnot. So after you get comfortable with that, then from there, maybe decide not to go all in, like, I don't know, I say all in, but like, like hundreds or thousands of dollars. No, like start off small, get comfortable with it. Once you get comfortable, guess what? You want to do things like, I'll show you real quick. You're going to want to follow guys like All the Money by Q. But before you do that, you could actually do some other things, okay? And what I mean by that is you can do this. And like it says, futures copy trading. And it's funny how All the Money by Q comes up first. So actually, I'll just show you that real quick. So the reason why they highlight him, I can't blame him, is because he has over a 92.95% success rate. And that nobody even comes close. Nobody comes close at all, okay? Already 266, I think, of the max 500 on copy trading. You can follow him. So be part of the 500 before it becomes over 500 if you choose to do so. The reason I mentioned him is because I like his success rate. I mean, 90% or higher is pretty awesome, to say the least. Now, there's a little bit more about this. And, like there's copy trading tutorial. Actually, I'll just take you there. And you can, check out all this stuff if you choose to do so. There's this. Just jump back. I keep saying I'm logging out of my other devices for security reasons, but you can watch some of these videos if you choose to do so. What is copy trading, benefits of copy trading, and so on. But there's people killing it, obviously. All right. And so I've always wanted some of that now money instead of just long term. We have so many long term. How many times have we talked about long term? Now we have some research to get into to talk about some of this long term. But I just want to share that with you guys. The way I look at it is do the demo trading first. Ain't going to cost you anything. And when you get more comfortable, obviously do copy trading and follow All of the Money by Q. And just in case you didn't see him earlier, here he basically is. They showcase him on the top middle of BTCC.com. All right, here's another update from All the Money by Q. If you go to BTCC.com, and it's worth pointing out. I know this is an XDC video, but sometimes you guys need to see some of these things because I know that some of you guys have wanted some updates. So here's a little brief update without doing a video on it on its own. So number one, check this out. You go to where it says copy, and where it says futures copy trading, well, of course, All the Money by Q comes up first. This is, of course, for people that have scanned that QR code. If you go over to this, it says that he has 340 out of 500 on the copy traders. Now watch what happens when you click on that. What happens is it shows on the last 67 days, this is his report. Well, interesting, when you go down to this, here's the most recent update. In the last 7 days, he has a win rate of 100%. Yeah, you saw that right, 100%. Now, that's where I'm at on this. I want you guys, if you want, of course, I'm not telling you what to do, to win as much as you can, right? I'm not going to try to just lead you astray. I want you to follow people that are worth following. And to me, this guy is totally worth following. I couldn't agree more with Worl-first. 100%. So for one, we know that All the Money by Q overall was, 92%, give or take, which was already high. I believe that was the highest on all of BTCC.com. But in the last 7 days, he's been killing it. So current copy traders, he's the lead trader with the current number of followers, 340 out of 500. Those are, of course, limited slots, apparently. I don't know what's going to happen after he reaches 500. That'll be very interesting. But whatever the case be, let's win at this. Let's obviously win at life. And wow, 100%. That is major, to say the least. And apparently, from what I discovered here, he's been doing it, 67 days. So, very interesting to see some of this, right? Very, very cool, especially in the last 7 days. I mean, do the demo trading like I pointed out. Get yourself comfortable with what you're doing. And once you are, do copy trading. Don't go too crazy with it. Throw whatever the minimum is. And you can literally run this on autopilot. Basically, if you feel as though that you're still not comfortable doing it on your own, follow him, who is all of the money by Q. So there's the update. Glad to provide it to you. The man, the myth, the legend is Tokenizer, and he is totally part of ChainStats Pro. Now, look on the bright side, guys. I'm not promoting some meme coin or meme token that has no utility and so on. If anything, I'm sharing something with solid utility with you that is really, you guys, some of you guys like Michael Cornwell, you like to get in at the floor of stuff. I don't know if you're quite at the floor, but this hasn't, of course, done anything crazy yet, right? Let's full screen this. Let's share this, okay? Because guess what? There's even people, I believe, in Encash, right? You guys are a lot familiar with Nick Encash. This is a utility, literally a utility analytical tool platform, a tokenized one built on the XRPL. How cool is that? Now, we did talk about, for example, I know I keep coming in and out, but we did talk, for example, about your BTCCs. In my opinion, this is a great thing to use in combination with your BTCC. Here's why. It's just some brief announcements. So for one, like it says, ChainStats, as in ChainStats Pro, unlocking Web3 data like an oil refinery for blockchain, right? We're all trying to, get those green God candles, but at the same time, we're trying to find, data is the new oil, right? So we turn raw data into valuable data-driven insights, helping users thrive in the Web3 economy. So for one, they have a token, and that token is built on the XRPL, and it is called Stats. Don't get the one that's on Ethereum. That's a totally different thing. But it's literally called Stats, and I believe it's on Coinbase, and of course also not Coinbase, excuse me. CoinMarketCap has a listing, and also CoinGecko. 5 hours ago, I think this is a good thread. It says, the market doesn't pause, neither should your data. In a world of liquidations, flash crashes, and of course mevbots are super annoying, right? Delay equals danger. Legacy analytics wait. ChainStats streams real-time order books, liquidation walls, and heat maps straight from exchanges. That is very, very true. The chain moves fast. Your data should too. And like it says, streams real-time order books, liquidation walls, and heat maps. But I wanted to point out this to you, and that is when you go over to ChainStats Pro, last I checked, I think they were still doing some maintenance, so it was kind of like down at the moment. But let's say you get the Pro version of it. What's really, really neat about this is that you can see, for example, XRP with that pairing just to like the US dollar, or XRP with like USDT. So let's say it's XRP with USDT. You can see what's going on with the KuCoin exchange market. And are they liquidating XRP? You can stay ahead of the game. So instead of just following like an influencer who does live charts, which is fine, don't get me wrong, especially if they know what they're doing, you can now combine this to give you, like, again, to stay ahead of the game. Because what if it's not just KuCoin? What if it is Coinbase also? What if it's a bunch of exchanges they are liquidating? Well, that would dramatically help you, especially if you're choosing to do leverage trading. So again, check them out. And there's another example I want to show here that was really, really cool. It's this further down. Legacy systems index data after it happens. Just like Google, right? Google is the world's largest centralized data indexer. So ChainStats interprets data as it happens. I like some of the terminology. Live order books, liquidation walls, order book heat maps, all streamed on chain. No delay, no distortion, so on, right? So from index to instant. All right, there's another one I want to show you. On May 8th, remember how BTC hit over 100K again, which is cool. The first sell block was violated and noted yesterday, at least at that time, with rising bids. Watch for sell side liquidity at the current ask of 101, 150, and 104,000. And they show these examples, right? So again, I would show you in real time, but last I checked, they were doing some maintenance, and they do that, right? They have like German engineers. That's what Tokenizer was mentioning to me before. So on this one, on the top right, in the screenshot, shows the order book, right? So on this one, back to KuCoin, top left. So it shows you literally, where is this data coming from? Data's coming from BTC USDT pairing. Now again, this is just on the 1-day chart, but you can go all the way down to 5 minutes if you choose to do so. So this is where they're citing this. This is where they're referencing it. And of course, you could change the colors. Let's say you wanted to do different colors other than just black and white. That's pretty cool to see some of this.